Trading ideas for the week of April 18th, 2022. For the next couple of weeks more, it will be the earnings season, as it started last week with the financial sector, and it's going to get heavier and heavier as the days come by. So I thought it's time to start a cartoon about the earnings and the effects of the economy on them and their forecast. I thought it was timely to talk about actually what is happening in China. These numbers came out tonight, and basically that's the reason I wanted to wait till I send you our episodes for this week. Is what is the effects of the shutdown, especially in Shanghai? So the GDP growth rate for the China year over year, it came at 4.8%, which was better than the consensus of 4.4%. So that was the good news. And also the industrial production was higher than what was expected. But the retail sales actually dropped more than what was expected. And that could be, again, reflection of the shutdown. So we want to watch this closely. And although the fixed asset investments were a little higher than what it was expected, so next month we should pay attention to see what is happening with the effects of this shutdown. But overall, right now, it looks like, again, that they're pleased that we had actually the GDP a little higher. But we have to, again, dissect more. So with the week coming up, there will be a lot of emphasis, again, on the earnings. So that's what I think the focus will be for our screen of the week and stock of the week for this time. There's not many economic or important economic events coming up. They're mostly going to be focusing on housing in the United States, and as always, again, the Fed members will be speaking around the country, and as well as, again, overseas with Europe and Asia. So we start Monday with the NAHB Housing Market Index. Australia will have the RBA meeting minutes, the central bank minutes. Now, this is the earnings, which is coming up actually Monday morning before the open. As you recall, last week where the major banks came out, and here we continue with that, Bank of America and Charles Schwab, and that will come out before the opening. Tuesday, we have Indonesia will have the interest rate decisions. Last week was an important week as far as the interest rates, as South Korea, New Zealand, and Bank of Canada, they came with some of the biggest moves for New Zealand and Canada. It was the biggest in 20 years, and they increased by 0.5%. So we want to watch Indonesia, and then US will continue under the housing theme. They will have the housing starts and building permits, which is, again, housing is a big segment of the US economy. So we want to watch that closely. Germany will have their PPI, and Japan will have the balance of trade. The earnings will have Tuesday, we have Halliburton in the energy sector and Johnson & Johnson. They will come out before the open. And then we have two technology biggies. It's Netflix and IBM after the close. On Wednesday, it will be Italy, Eurozone, and Argentina. They will come up with a balance of trade. US will continue the housing theme. They will tell us about the existing home sales. South Korea and Russia will have their PPI. South Africa and Canada, they will have their inflation rate. And France will have the business confidence. I put this down because, as you know, there's a heavy election competition going on in France. So we want to watch that closely, especially the politics toward what is happening with the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the attitude of France. As always, we'll have at 7:30, we'll have crude oil inventories. Then we have earnings before the open. We have Procter & Gamble, and then we have some interesting especially with Tesla coming after the close, the earnings, Alcoa, the CSX, and then United Airlines. So these are the important ones to watch. As you know, starting Wednesday, I like the Wednesday, especially Thursday earnings. It is, especially if you're using option strategies, those are my favorite days. So I like to, after the close on Wednesday, Thursday, before and after, and then Friday before the close. So there are some really attractive ones coming up. So if you want to use any of those option strategies, this is a very timely manner to follow. On Thursday, we have the US, again, Fed Chair Powell will speak, and then Euro and Japan will have their inflation. Turkey and Eurozone, they will have consumer confidence, and Great Britain will have their retail sales, and Thursday we'll have our gold trade. As far as the earnings, we have American Airline and AT&T and Dow companies before the open, and then we have Snap will come after the close. On Friday, we finished the week with Canada's retail sales, Great Britain's consumer confidence, France, Germany, Euro zone, and Great Britain will have their PMI flash for the month of April. And again, 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time, we'll have the Baker Hughes Ulrich count. Now, the earnings before open, we have Clifford, which is a CLF, the Verizon, American Express, Newmont, and the SAP, the technology software company. So we want to watch those. So those are going to be interesting again, especially if you're using option strategies. So with the screen of the week, we had a class on the earning, using option strategies for the earning season. And with that in mind, because we are emphasizing on the earnings, I thought, let's take a look at, this is from the American Association of Individual Investors. They analyze many different screening tools and the ideas, and, you know, it could be from value to growth, could be from earning estimates to quant. So basically, or the yield. So the emphasis for this week with the earnings coming up, I wanted to see what is related, especially with the estimates. And one of the most attractive things we found out is the earning surprises and earning estimates, and the companies who are successful in doing that, they outperform the market. So as far as the positive side, we have the estimate revision, and we look at the top 30, or we can look at up 5%, which their estimate was revised up 5%. As you can see, the risk index is 1.7 ranking, but since inception, for instance, the top 30 and the 5%, they've beaten the markets very handsomely. They're up 22.7%, for instance, 5%. For 10 years, they're up 13.8. Now, year to date, this is as of March 31st. So they are down, and again, mostly because of the earning related, but for 1 year, they're down 2.5%. When you compare it to the worst, when the revision is down, you see how these companies have performed. So with that in mind, I chose the total estimate revised. It's up 5% screening model. So this is their performance compared to S&P 500. And you can see they're very much in line with what S&P has done year to date as of March 31st. But 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, and 20-year, they have beaten S&P by wide margin. Now, this is interesting. You want to make sure these are not more of a swing trade for short term or day trading. The average number of monthly holdings is 29. So pay attention to that. So this is a value model. And so this is our findings. This is of the 3/31/2022. These are the top companies that they passed this test, you know, from US Silica. You will see there's quite a few in the energy sector. And basically, this is for your own consumption. You can review this and see if you can find something again, attractive from this screen. Again, my job is I'm not recommending anything. I'm just opening the doors. So for you to do a little more study with your own analysis, with own, from the fundamental to technical to seasonality to sentiment. And but with having said that, I like to just look at one of the stocks that I found would be interesting, and the stock is Cleveland Cliffs Inc., the CLF, because they actually have an earning on Friday morning before the market opened. They have done very well. They're in the steel and iron industry, and basically basic materials. As you know, basic material is like one of the top three sectors which have done well this year. Also, I looked at the Clifford. Not only they were part of the estimated revision of 5%, they also came part of some other screening tools that they have done better than the actual markets. So they were included in these screens as well. So let me start with top down. We look at the, as far as the, as I mentioned, basic materials have done, they've been positive, as well as now when we look at the industry, the steel is number 6 as far as part of the basic material. And year to date, they're actually up 23.07%. Now, you can see actually the Cleveland Cliffs, they're up actually 41.66% year to date. So with that in mind, we look at the whole steel industry, and I wanted to look at the largest from the market cap. We have POSCO, and of course we have this is really, there's a Russian connection here with MT. It's a Luxembourg company. Nucor is the largest, and Cleveland Cliffs is number 4 as far as being the largest cap. You see the valuations are pretty attractive in this arena. As far as when we look at Investor Business Daily, looking at their strength from the fundamental point of view, you see our composite rating is 95, and industry is ranked number 7 out of 197s, and the group is ranked A+. So we want to pay attention to that. One negative side is the earning per share rating is under 80. We prefer to have over 80, but still overall there are a lot of strength still going on. And you see, although the earning per share growth has not been attractive, but again, based on the AAI, they have actually beaten it, and we will go more deeply. So they're ranked number 5 as far as still industry, as far as the composite rating. This is from the Guru Focus. You can see the financial strength is not the highest. The Petrosky F score is about 6+. They are in a gray area, but their profitability is pretty good. You see, when we look at the 2012, they were obviously much higher than the price that they are right now. So they were close to $70. So this is just, again, just a food for thoughts to look at as far as, again, to do a little more analysis on your own. And these are based on talking about analysis. It is CLF is followed by 16 analysts, and the buy percentage consensus 76. So there's still, it's not the highest, so there's still room for more upgrade. So with that in mind, I wish you a wonderful week ahead, a successful and a prosperous one. Thank you so much, and we'll speak to you next week.